Hey, welcome back to Grit Gym. Today is Monday. I think this is 17th. Anyway, Monday we have the nutrition thing coming up here pretty soon. The nutrition course is 6 weeks long. I definitely encourage you guys to get signed up for that. October 15th is the first day of the nutrition course. You want to get signed up for this thing. Go to the store and it'll be nutrition course. It's $297, but if you look at the code, it's in the 2 posts below here. If you look at the code, it gives you $100 off until September 21st. So make sure to get signed up for that thing as soon as possible. But to get to health, how do I break this thing out? When I first started looking at this, it was all about performance for me. For me, it was all about performance. It was like, how do I get better on the field? How do I get better on the mat? How do I get better? Basically, it was wrestling, baseball, football. Track was like the most boring sport I've ever done in my life. I hated it. So, but I still went out because I wanted to get faster, right? So, health. It isn't necessarily about performance. Well, you're not going to perform real well if you're not healthy enough to get on the field. Where was I? Performance. So, if you're not healthy, you're not going to get on the field. So you got to have the performance. So you got to have health to be able to perform. So we have to do this. But how does this thing actually break out? When we start to look at this thing, how does it actually break out from just being beyond performance? Because if you're going to have a performance one way or the other. There's no way of not looking at this thing from the standpoint of I have a performance that I need to make, because you've got life to live. You've got life to live, so you're going to have to perform. Like, are you doing everything inside of Grit Gym in order to be better at all the things inside of Grit Gym? No, you're doing all the things inside of Grit Gym in order to go out into the world and better perform them out there. It's not about how good you can get at exercise. It's using exercise to enhance everything that you are outside of exercise. So when you look at health, it's not just about exercise though. So if we're gonna take this thing out, I'm gonna put exercise up here. We've done the performance matrix before. I called it the Move Strong Matrix. I think we're going to change the name of that. But we've got strength, we have power, we have speed. Are these all the things of exercise? No, they are not. We also have, I'm starting to more and more call this low intensity interval training. This would be your alactic training. This would be like going 10 seconds as hard as you possibly can and then taking 90 seconds off. Is it a form of cardio? Yes, it is a form of cardio because you're restricting recovery time. All right, so low intensity interval training, high intensity interval training. I heard the other day that somebody thought that Tabata was different from high intensity interval training. They're the exact same things. All right, but is this all of, so if this is all of performance, this is all of, no. You also have aerobic, like typically what we call cardio up here too. Is this all of the deals? No. You also have stability. You also have mobility. You also have stiffness. So we have to break this out away from, is it just exercise in terms of health? No. Is it just strength, power, speed? No. Is it just cardio? No. Is it just yoga, Pilates? No. You have to do all of them. You don't just get to pick and choose what you do want in your health category. You have to have all of them. What about recovery? This is the one that took me way too long to figure out. Okay? In terms of performance, I had a talk with one of my athletes the other day about this. You do not get any gain while you're doing the thing. You get the gain when you're recovering from the thing. This is what most strength coaches don't understand. This is what most personal trainers understand this. Like, you're going to find 1 in 10,000 trainers. You're going to find 1 in 10 strength coaches, maybe 1 in 100 strength coaches. It is not in the exercise that you get all the things. It's in the recovery that you get all the things. Okay? When you go and you look at other people's programs, when I go and look at other people's programs, I'm like, wow, you're doing a ton of cardio here. You're just getting your heart rate to go up and up and up and up, and you got to stop that stuff. You got to tone it back down. You got to go really, really intense and then recover as fast as you possibly can. Okay? You have to take, like, if you're taking like 3-5 minutes in between your thing for speed, you probably did it right. All right, so it's in the recovery. So we have to have this. What's involved here? Between sets. Okay, we have between reps, we have sleep at night, we have between workouts. Okay, those would all be included in your recovery. Between workouts, sleep, rest, sets. Okay, so we have to have those. If we want to be healthy, we have to have those. If we want to have pinnacle health, what about mindset? This is the one I'm struggling with today. I never get a case of the Mondays, ever. I always come into Mondays, like most people roar into Saturday. Monday is like my day, and today I'm having a tough time with it. So mindset is one of those things I've got to overcome today. Today's kind of like a test day for me. So mindset, what do you have here? You have this like all in versus afraid thing. Okay, you got a lot of other stuff going on in here. You have fear-based truths, you have perception of truth, you have deep psychological stuff like, do we have willpower? And like obviously we do, but to what extent? To what extent does your DNA just play on the mindset that you already do have? Amber and I were talking about this earlier today, or earlier on Saturday, when everybody got out of here. We were talking about is everybody in the West a Christian? And it's like, yes, almost every single, like our values and our culture and everything, like you don't have to be a Christian in the sense that I go to church and pray. No, but you are so embedded on a DNA level with the Christian culture that you don't get to get away from it. Unless you grew up in different parts of Asia, like India or China, you basically are Christian. That's just the way that it goes. I'm not saying that everybody has to believe. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the values that you live your life upon. That fly is a little pesky. But is this all of it? Is it exercise, recovery, and mindset? No, because we also have this thing called food. We know that nutrition plays a role here. Now, the interesting thing about this from a professional standpoint, I will say, we know the most about this one. No doubt about it. There is no argument to be made here. We know more about strength and conditioning than we know about any other piece of this puzzle. Then we know the next would be somewhere between, would probably be mindset. We know more about mindset than we know about nutrition or recovery. We know more about exercise than we know about these three combined. Okay, we know so much about this, and some of that is because we can actually measure it very easy. We can measure stuff very easy here, very hard to measure here, very hard to measure here, somewhat difficult to measure here, just because humans are so different. But we know more about exercise and mindset than we knew about recovery and nutrition, and the one that we know the least about is nutrition. Okay, we know very, very little around the science of nutrition. Okay, what we do know is that some very key strategies and some very lifestyle factors can play with the science that we do know or can be, what would be the word for that? Can work together with the nutrition, the science part of the nutrition that we do know to create a very healthy individual. And if you can do this is the whole show. I know I say this a lot on the show, but this is the whole thing. If you do not have this, you do not get to enjoy your money. You do not get to enjoy your relationships. You do not get to enjoy your time. And that's what like we could make like another, I don't know why. Time would be another one of our resources. Relationships would be another one of our resources. And that's basically it. Everybody wants one of those four. More of one of those four. Well, we've gone over the time thing in here quite a bit. The relationships thing, that's what Rachel and I talk about on Tuesdays, and I don't know if we get really in depth with that one. Money, we don't even touch on this thing. But if you get this done, you're like this means that you get better at all of those. Okay, because like if you get better at the mindset thing, that makes you better at your relationships, your money, and your time. You get better at the nutrition thing. Your mind is going to work better. Your relationships are going to be better. You're going to be better with your time, and you're going to use your money more wisely. If you get better with the exercise thing, you might use some money to enhance the exercise, to have a better relationship, to utilize more time. Your recovery, you might spend some money to go to a recovery center like an Iowa recovery room with the sensory deprivation tanks in order to have better relationships and more time. I do this once a week. I burn 90 minutes. Knowing that 90 minutes is extremely valuable to me, time. I use time so that I can have better this, and better this, and better this. Okay? I burn 90 minutes of time. Just like you burn 8 to 10 hours of sleep, you burn that time so you can have better relationships, better health, and more money. Okay? It will all come down to this every time. And if you do all of these, then you get better at all three of these. They circumvent each other. So you use your money to get more health in order to get a better mindset to get you more money. You use your health to have better relationships so that you can have like all the great things in your life. You use your time to gain more health, to get more money, to get better relationships. Like they all circumvent each other. But anyway, it's not like when we stop and look at this stuff, I didn't go into the nutrition thing, but that's what Amber's going to go into. Amber's got a nutrition course online. It's absolutely fantastic. I don't know if this live is very good, but hey guys. Who's on here? All right. But you have to have all of these, and then you break them out. And this is what we do. This is what I do in the Coach the Game book. I mostly talk about this one. I talk a little bit about these three, but to break these out and to make this. And I guess that's my big message for today, is that if you have health, you're going to enhance all of these others. But if anybody doesn't have any questions, I'm going to pop off of here because it's about time, and I got a lot of stuff to do. So thanks for being here with me today, guys. Please click the like, comment, share button. Search for that video down below. It's like 2 videos down below. We should set up an event for it too. Should have done that, huh? But we'll set up an event for it. You'll be able to sign up there. And if you go two videos down, you click the Learn More. Go to the store in the Grit Gym. You can go to gritgym.com. Go to nutrition course. Click on that. Use the code to get $100 off. Get signed up, and it's going to be a 6-week course. You get a lot of cool stuff with it. But thanks for being here, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.